Hi.
Hey!
What's up?
Well, I wanted to talk about how trauma seeps into divination.
Oh my gosh, you're in luck. Because I also wanted to talk about that. I made a sticker just in case you wanted to talk about that. Even though you were the one that suggested it in our text message, just in case you decided to keep the topic, I wanted to be prepared.
I have a hair in this eye.
Get it out. I think you should get it out. I don't think you should leave it in, Kate. My
It's
advice
right here, guys.
is to get it out.
It's out.
I really enjoyed this week listening to Ben edit our podcast from last week. The dice and cards. It was really fun.
Why, did he make a lot of commentary?
No, we just said a bunch of like weird stuff. Like when you were like, okay, Kat, you roll a dice, and I was like, because it's just auditory, like it's just audio. And he's like, what? Like, what's happening? And it's like, I had a lot. I was like, I didn't know. I wasn't prepared. He's like, but you have a lot of dice. I'm like, if you keep listening.
We get to that.
We figure it out.
Ben.
No, it was just fun. There was a lot of stuff that was fun.
Yes.
Yes, we had a good time.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Guys, we're doing a discussion topic. It's trauma seeping into divination. So, a lot of the time, usually it's like in the beginning, right? Of like, when people are trying spiritual whatever, and they're trying to see if their intuition is correct. And they'll be like, I asked if so-and-so hated me, and they definitely hate me, and I heard it.
Well, I mean, just, to be clear what divination is, it can be used with modalities like tarot cards or runes, or some people read bones, or it can even be what we do, which is just like looking into it with our own, energetic instruments.
I got shocked for some reason. That's really true. Maybe my divination has trauma seeping into it. But usually,
you got socks?
Yes. Really not sure why. I guess you could literally read anything.
Yeah.
Anything could be a reading.
I mean, shit, last week she read aviation flashcards.
They were great.
So.
Airplanes. So, how I usually know is when the answer is upsetting. That's how I usually know, because why would I be asking about something instead of putting the action forth into it?
Can you explain that further, Kate?
So, I'm trying to think of an example, but I heal. Okay.
Wow, that answer was really upsetting.
Let me go ahead and heal it. Okay, so let's say that I have team members at work. There's inspectors at work, and maybe I was too hard on them that day. And was I too hard on them that day? And I'm going to roll some dice. And it's like, oh my God, they're all thinking terrible things about me. They fucking hate me. Oh my God. And it's like, wow, this is really upsetting. And
she doesn't roll dice for divination. That's why this is like really funny to me. I'm just like, do you now? You roll the dice?
I have never wondered if I was too hard on my people ever.
It's hard to grab the things because we've healed them. So it's like, I'm going to make this up, and it's like, make up all of it. Got it.
Hell yeah. But,
oh, you roll dice, huh? Okay.
And then no matter what you do, it's upsetting and wrong. And no matter how you go about this thing that you're trying to figure out, it's upsetting and wrong.
It reminds me of people pulling tarot cards and they get like the devil card and they're like, yes, we're in love and we're bound to be together. That's what this is saying. And it's like the two people chained and naked looking away from each other, really upset. And they're like, this says.
And there's someone stopping us.
Yeah.
There's an evil force stopping us. The devil is stopping us. The devil doesn't want us to be together. And it's like, oh, how do you know that's trauma, bias, and agenda? Because it's upsetting. The real answer is that, no, it's pretty sickly. Like, it would be a fatal attraction, whatever the fuck that is.
Like it would
Not
be blunt.
good.
Right? Like it would be like flat.
Yeah. Like not in your highest good. Like almost a forced thing. Like if you were to get together with the devil card. Like if you were to actually read it. Hell yeah, I'm gonna roll that dice. True love, obviously, Dixie said. LOL. So, if you're going into something and asking questions
Also,
or reading something...
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, it just is... It's upsetting. And that's how you know you need to either clean off, which you could do by physically cleaning off, like this, or you can say, activate the clean-offs and clean-offs, like my, as in your, clean-ups and clean-offs. However you clean in the physical, you could do it to yourself, energetically.
A lot of times the way trauma seeps into your divination is simply not trusting yourself. So like the way that Kate and I read cards is not very like tarot cards is not very by the book of what tarot readers say that each card represents, because for Kate the cards literally will talk to her, they'll tell her like the answers, and for me I kind of like feel into the image of them, or at least that's how I used to. Now I read it kind of like a computer screen is what Kate and I were looking at the other day. But you'll be like, I got this message, but if I look in this little book that comes with the cards, it says it's this, so I must be wrong. That is a way that trauma can seep into your divination as well. So how do you manage that?
I think of it. I don't know why I keep getting examples. It must be people, like from the people that are in here. And it's like, oh yes, this example, this example, this example. I'm trying to do the baklava healings to all this.
You want to do
Like
the
all the
brainstorming
layers.
healings?
Oh yeah, we could. Okay.
Do you want me to just start talking about other things?
I seem to have foggy head. So, removing the fog from my head. I can't seem to get, or I can't seem to talk straight. I can see all the things. Like
do you want to know what's happening?
Who?
Trauma's getting into my divination stuff. Do you want to know what's happening? As I think is what's happening.
You're talking to me?
Yep.
Okay, all right. I didn't know if you were like talking to the people.
The last time we did a discussion topic, I energetically felt someone like, I wish Kat would be quiet. I want to hear what Kate has to say. And so I was like holding back stuff, and I'm like, I'm going to let Kate talk the most. And it's like, we know how we work. We go like this, ding, 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 ding. And when we think of stuff, we say it. Uh-huh. But because of the last time we did a discussion topic, I could feel there was like at least one, out of all the people that watched this, there was at least one that was like, I wish Kat would be quiet. She interrupts a lot, and Kate doesn't get to talk. So I was being quiet for this one person. And I was like, everybody feels this way. I know that's not true.
Oh, okay. So that's another one too then. Is like, it'll be your fault somehow. Everything, no matter what, is you as in your fault somehow. I should have been more quiet, and nobody would say anything. Like, nobody says anything. Nobody is actively telling you this. Nobody is, but it's in, they're actually thinking it. They're not going to say it. They're actually thinking it. And then you build on top of the bullshit, and until it's like on a pedestal, and it's true because it's on this, it's right here, it's on the top of this, on this like, thing that's built.
There's people that will literally be like, hey, I need to stop smoking. They'll be like, I really need to stop smoking. And we'll be like, why?
It stinks. That was the last one. It stinks. And it's like...
Says to who?
I do
Who
not smell it anymore.
who says it does? So there's a lot of trauma from society or what you see. Oh, some people might have, this is a very common thing. A lot of it's been healed for the majority of people, but it has been a common thing before where people will have body issues because they don't look like the people on TV or the magazines, so they don't look like what they're supposed to look like. I am happy to report that since TikTok is very body positive without like making it gross that they're body positive, we're just like, hell yeah, confidence is fucking sexy. Authenticity is sexy. People have gained that confidence, but that was one that would seep on a lot of people. They would just be like, I'm not good enough.
Body image stuff is what came in my head too, and I was about to like say all the things with that, and a lot of body image stuff is like I'll hear people say, "Well, I hate my body," and it's like, do you hate your body, or is it everyone else hating their body? Okay, my mirror clean out healing. I would look in the mirror at home and I'd be like, fuck yeah, that's Kate. And to me, Kate is fucking hell yeah. Hell yeah, I look like me. Fuck yeah, and I'd leave. And then I'd get to work and it would be totally fine. And then I would either right at the end of work or when I came home be like, wow, I look disgusting. I walked around work like this all day. And then finally, after like months of doing this, my husband was like, it's really weird, Kate. You leave the house and you're fine, and then you go to work, and then all these things happen. I'm starting to think it's at work, and I was like, oh my god, it's the mirrors at work.
Kate's husband is Australian, by the way.
Guys, I don't know if you knew this. He's Australian. So it's literally fragments of people's own shame and self-worth that gets inside.
So when we're saying trauma seeps into your divination, it's not just your own trauma. It's other people's. And it's like, how do you, like, if you're basically, we're all living in people soup. How do you differentiate between what is real and what is trauma getting into your brain and making you think it's real? Basically intrusive thoughts.
So it kind of goes into the same thing. It upsets you.
Wait, hold on. In the comments, someone said, I want an Australian. And Kate's like, I got him on Xbox. As if it's a store. The Australian store, guys. You want an Australian? She got him at Xbox.
Guys, I don't know if you know this. Xbox has a lot of people on it. And if you love video games...
That reminds me, because I was about to say, yeah, I've dated an Australian before. I had like a intense relationship with one. But then it reminded me of the other day we were talking of how that guy that I dated a French guy one time, and he was too French for me, which is also a form of trauma in your divination, because he wanted to like, can I draw you naked with charcoals? And I went over to his house, and there were women, he didn't draw me. There were women, like, sketched out in charcoal, and he had a cheese plate and wine, and he was like, you're so lovely, and all this stuff, and I was like, I can't fucking date this. I had not healed enough self-worth for that much, like, whatever
lust,
it was.
I guess? Like,
yes.
Lust? Okay.
I was like, this is uncomfortable. And his name, oh my God, his name was, what the fuck was it? Because it was
Rodrigo,
very French.
I don't know.
No.
I'm trying to think of any Rodrigo. Clément.
No.
Okay.
God, it was so French. Hold on. What was his name? Please, hurry, please. Francois. His name was Francois.
Yes, of course.
I was like, I can't call you that. I couldn't even call him his name. I was like, I cannot do this.
Jesus.
I can't handle this. I think I called him Bright Eyes.
Oh. Okay. Trauma seeping into your everyday through into like your intuition and things like that. Compliments. Like on Mean Girls or whatever the fuck. And it's like, oh my God, I really like your... Okay, this is one I get a lot. I love your nails and that they're matte black and not shiny black. It's different. Wow, that's crazy. You could if this were to happen, be like, they're telling me this because they know it's fucking
Because
ugly.
they're making fun of me or
Yes,
whatever the fuck.
they're making fun. Matte Black. They don't know what that is.
People thought I was fake a lot because I would compliment people, and they compared it to someone compared it to the Mean Girls reference too. It's like when you tell people you like their shirt, they think you're lying, and I'm like, but I'm not. So how do we do this? We're giving a lot of examples. Oh, go ahead. You were reading.
Kiyomi said, I like to do the heart thing you do, like when you're putting your hand on your chest to feel what's mine.
That was a long time ago. That was a video from like 2020. I think I reposted it, is how she saw it.
Okay. Alright, so...
Kate's like, we don't do that.
Yeah.
I did a long time ago, and I reposted that video, and it was like saying, like, yeah, feel like it blocks the energy, so you could feel. It was a way for people to like figure out what was theirs and what wasn't. Because if you felt it internally after blocking this, then it was yours. But if you remove this, then it was like other people's.
I have something to say about that, and it's gonna, I don't know, it's like back whenever I was going through some stuff, a person told me to block my stomach chakra.
It's the same person.
Okay, and that absolutely did not help. It made me freak out even more, and now that I'm looking back on it, it's because they were the trauma giver.
When it was when I was working with that same person is when I came up with these like physical modality things. And when I posted that with the heart, because that's what worked for me, they were like, it's supposed to be your sacral. And I was like, then why does it work when I do the heart? And they're like, well, it's supposed to be the sacral. And I was like, well, I've coded it to be the heart. And that's what works. It reminds me when I would say, wrap this in love and forgiveness. And they're like, that's not what it is. And I was like,
what is it? You can't tell me?
Love, light, and forgiveness. But they were like, it was really weird.
And I was like, what does that mean? What does that mean when that happens? And they could not tell me. And I was like, well, what I'm seeing is blah, 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 blah. Okay. So that makes sense. And also because they were the giver, like they perpetuated the trauma. So I won't say giver, but they perpetuated the trauma, which is why it never went away and it got worse. Okay, so with that, how do you know if it's coming from inside the house or outside the house? Is it something that you actually know?
One way that I know that you got to the bottom of it one time when you were trying to figure it out for yourself is you would ask the voice or whatever questions and it couldn't answer.
Yeah. So like, how do you actually think this way? Like the line of thinking, and I know this is not going to work for everybody. I'm very aware of it because the way I think is in. So if you want to trace it back, if you really cannot, actually a good example of this is the app that I just posted about with weight trauma and stuff like that, and about how you just can't believe that you would possibly not eat or whatever kind of trauma that you have. And if you track, then there's no way that you could think like this. So I kept hearing as I was scrolling something about being ugly, and I was like, hold on, pause.
She's going back. She was saying the thing that she made the video of, and now the thing she's talking about is the thing that I referenced, like,
yes,
in the same topic, but like a few segments ago. This is how she started to figure things out when she was talking about the angular thing and how her brain works. Yes. I don't know why I needed to clarify it, but okay.
Okay, so it's like a connect the dots thing. So if you have this, and this, which is trauma here, trauma there, weight trauma, body trauma, whatever, and how they're not the same, all of a sudden, whatever you're hearing in your head, challenge it. So if you're hearing ugly, as I was scrolling, I kept hearing ugly, you are ugly. And I was like, that's really odd because I don't even say that word.
Like
I
she
don't
does,
know.
it's not a thing that she has as a comparison, as a thing, as a, like it's not really in her vocabulary, vernacular, nothing. It's not something she would
I
say.
No, I don't look at people, and actually, I don't look at people at all. I don't look at
Or
their bodies. I don't
things.
look at their face. I don't look at what they have and don't have. So having that come up in my head as my thoughts is fucking wild. So something that might come up in y'all's thoughts. Man, I really should have worn makeup today. Really?
Why?
Why? Why should you have worn makeup today? Oh, I heard Sally say that she really doesn't like when people are barefaced. They're just not trying enough. Oh, so Sally thinks that you should have worn makeup today. That's crazy. So, going back to whenever I heard you're ugly, and I went, that's crazy. I don't even use that word and all the things. I traced it back and was like, oh, really interesting. But you know who does use those words? I post videos, and then I started asking questions of like, you know, where am I ugly? If this is true, you would be able to answer me, voice thing. That makes sense? I don't know what that means, post remedial. I've noticed psychic downloads being manipulated, like in real time, not digitally, like someone. Are you talking about your intuition? Are you talking about your channeling? Is that what, do you call that psychic downloads? Like, is that the same thing?
They said
Yes.
yes.
Okay. So, being manipulated how? Because that's, like Kat was saying earlier, that's people soup. That's peopling.
Like, Kate helped me when it was happening to me, when I was connecting to people who watched my videos and I didn't really understand it, or I was watching their videos and I didn't quite understand what was happening, but I would be like, I would be ashamed. I would be ashamed to be me. I would be ashamed to be born this skin color, this eye color. I was like, I wasn't doing enough, or I shouldn't be talking about spirituality, or like all sorts of stuff. It was not internal. This was not stuff that I thought. This was other people's thoughts. And it wasn't even that I needed to listen to other people's thoughts in a way. Like, how do you explain that? It's just being aware that it's not coming from you. Then you can look further into it, because it's like, if someone's talking about a topic that's really, really, really uncomfortable and it's in a space that isn't really the best for that topic, then it doesn't mean just talk about whatever you want. It's kind of like having empathy and understanding as to why. Why would they be offended by this? Why would they? But knowing it's not yours. And then, like, the things that they're offended by don't apply to you, so it's like, it's okay. An example of this is when, like, a female might make a video talking about, I hate it when men do this, and then there will be men in the comments being like, not all men, I'm not like this, I blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, then I wasn't talking to you.
Internalizing and stuff
Yeah.
like that. A pretty big giveaway is the words that come across. Like if you're a knower, or if you are like a seer, feeler, it doesn't matter. Words still will formulate in your head, and it's the wording. Do you use those words? The word I get at work a lot is strong, strong, and it'll just come in my head, strong, strong, strong. And I'm like, I don't call anybody strong. That's insane. I watch World's Strongest Man and do not call those men strong. Those look like men to me. That looks like a body. Wow, look at that body. Damn, you lift rocks. Fuck yeah, you lift rocks.
Also, because of, like, basic physics, you can use different tools to to complete those tasks. So why would it be a strong person? Like, that's weird to us.
So, is that a word you even use? Okay, here's one I'll hear too. The word fat, and it's like, did you, like, is that one of your words? Do you call people fat? Like, who are you? Oh, it's coming from
Channeling.
your parents. Yeah, who are you channeling? It's like, oh, when I was 5. Like that's I heard it. And it's like, damn, so your grandfather thinks he is fat because that's
Of
his
whatever the
word.
fuck?
Yeah, that's his word. So it's really odd that it's seeping into you. Where are these words coming from?
There's another thing that happens quite a bit with spiritual practitioners and tarot readers is they'll put their own life story onto the reading. And it's very much like trauma coming from their own life experiences, and they'll read it in the cards like this. This is Ace of Cups, right? And if they look at it without actually reading into what the person is going through, they might see the time that they fell into a fire pit. And they'll be like, there's danger, there's like fire, you've really got to stay away from that, stay away from the edge. And it's like, that's not what this is at all. It's, you know, whatever the fuck. I'm not reading for anybody. I remember when we went on Red Note for a bit and people put a tarot, like there was tarot cards and it was like, read this. And they were like, what reading would you give these cards? And there were a lot of people that were like, oh, I would read it like this. And I remember being like, these cards aren't for an actual person. They're just cards you put on the screen. So how am I supposed to read this? And like everybody else had, you know, an answer for it. I'd read it like this and I'd read it like this. And I'm like, well, then what the fuck are they channeling?
What are y'all reading?
Because this is not for a real person. Like this, I'd have to assign it to a real person, or we read an energy and go, whose is that? Because we read it. But if you're just putting your own like, what are you reading?
Okay, I'll give an example too. Whenever people would tell me about tarot, or I'd see on TikToks about tarot, they'd be like, one of cups means blah, 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 blah. And it, like the textbook, storybook, what this card means. And it pissed me off because I could never memorize it. I would just see the images in the card. And so I was like, I'm never doing fucking tarot. Fuck tarot. I'm not learning this shit. So I would only do Oracle because they didn't have books. They had images. And so that slowly migrated. And then I finally saw something called the True Black Tarot. And I was like, oh my God, this is so nice. This is so nice. And then that's how I got into tarot.
And then someone else's trauma got on that because Kate did, she wasn't posting a lot on TikTok about tarot by any means. And she posted like a reading or something. And this person was like, everybody's getting this deck because I got this deck first.
Oh my God. And I was like, my husband got this for me.
And she's like,
he's
well,
not on TikTok. He didn't even have a TikTok account at this time.
I had it first. And that's why everybody's getting it. Things that happen like in Drag Race when they have like, the competitions where they're like all making garments and stuff. And if someone's making a similar, they're like, they saw my stuff and they stole my fucking idea. And it's like, everybody has to make something that's blue. I don't think they stole your idea. They just literally had the same concept.
Okay. So if you're wanting to know if they actually did, so here's an example. You can, as a seer, you see what's in front of you, and then remove yourself from it. Pretend you're not there. Erase yourself from the equation. And then look at it again. That's it. And then as a feeler, you can do the same thing. Here's the thing in front of you. Feel the thing in front of you. Somebody stole my blah, blah, blah.
I don't think I would do that. I think the way that I would do it, but I don't know if the way I do it is different. I'm trying to figure out how I simplify it.
I don't do it that way either. It was just an example.
I was trying to give a simplified like you did, because that's not how you do it anymore, but that's like as a seer what you could do. And I'm like, as a feeler, would I do that? And it's like, I don't know if I've ever done that. Could that be a way? Well, if Kate's seeing it, then it probably is. So, I don't know.
Zoom out. Like you could, like...
Yeah,
I
zooming
guess with
out
any
would be the
camera.
way to do it because it's like you actually can see. It's kind of like seeing the dots and you're like, oh my God, that's the same picture. And then you zoom out and you're like, that's a shoe. I'm doing
Yeah.
an umbrella. My
Look at all that
bad.
webbing, probably from spiders zooming out. That is a shoelace from a shoe.
The thing with people putting their own divination or their own trauma into divination, that happens a lot where they, it happens a lot when it comes to childhood trauma, or like if they'll be like, I'm seeing here that you were, essayed, abused when you were a child, and he would get really close to your face, and and then the person's like, I had a really good childhood with that. Like, I didn't have anybody in my life that did that. And they'd be like, it was so traumatic, you don't remember it.
Yeah, they'll like double down and be like, it's your fault. So that's another example too.
That person that we kind of mentioned earlier, but we didn't, like, that was big for her. She'd be like, if I'm seeing it, it's true. And if they're not, then they need to deal with it. The very last live I did with them, since we're talking about it, because someone still follows and like interacts with us from that. The very last live, it was during when people were like, if you got to get the vaccine or not get the vaccine to work, like in 2020, and it was like, you might not be able to work in the nursing field if you don't get this. And they were like, I don't know what to do. And I was like, well, we've made it, as safe as possible to take the vaccine or not take it. And you do what you need to do. Like, you're going to be fine no matter what. And the person I was live with, she was like, you were born to be in I can't do it without doing an accent. You were born to be in the medical field. That's what you were born to do. So you need to suck it up and do it. And I was just like,
They're wanting help, not guilt and shame. Thanks, though. That's insane. So again, trauma, seeping into divination, making you feel shittier by just existing, making it your fault. All of those things scream trauma and seeping into what is actually there.
I was thinking, like, we haven't given, besides the talking about, like, taking yourself out of the equation, seeing thing, like, how do you see if this is trauma or not? I was like, man, we have so many ways to figure out if it's trauma or not and to get the clear answers. And I'm like, I wonder why we're not talking about that. And we're just giving examples of trauma. Our entire pages are that. Our entire pages are figuring out if something is true or not, figuring out why that channeling is happening from that person, or you cleaning off, removing puppet strip. Like, all of our healings, all of our everything is to make it clear. People will come, like, some people will go to a reader and they'll be like, I'm having like issues with my partner and I need to know what to do. And the tarot reader, not knowing them, not knowing their situation, their life or anything, will be like, it's saying in the cards you need to leave him. I'm sorry, honey, you just need to go. You need to move out and you need to leave him. And it's like, wow. You don't know their financial situation, their living situation. Like, yeah, it might be that they need to get out of that situation, but how the fuck are they going to get unstuck? So they're just going to spiral out and freak out. Like, you're not helping them at all. And like, what we do is we won't tell anybody to be with somebody or not be with somebody. We just help them clear the gunk away and the energetic crap that's like the trauma in their divination, the trauma that's affecting their decisions, so that they can figure out, are they supposed to be with this person or are they supposed to not be with this person?
Like, they decide. Because once you get all that shit off, it's like, it'll be right there in your face anyway.
Yeah. It's the trauma seeping in that makes everything cloudy and spirally and stuff. And it makes it to where you are seeking outside help because you don't trust yourself. So when you go to people and they are like basically telling you not to trust yourself more because they have their own trauma in the things, it's really difficult.
So it's like, whenever you are getting a message or whatever, or channeling or doing divination, if it upsets you more with no solution, that's a pretty good giveaway.
Chris is in the chat.
Oh.
He just sent a heart to say hi.
Ah, dang it. I didn't see it. I'm sorry.
At the table.
So that's a pretty good giveaway of like you need to leave this person. And it's like, now I feel even worse because I can't, like Kat was saying. And it's like, wow, this is really shitty. What am I going to do now? Can't do that thing. It's like, yeah, it's because it was trauma.
There was one time I was reading cards, and it was for the Tip Jar Tarot, and it's someone that I work with like that we both work with in the Guided Adventure, so I had their phone number, and I was like, hey, so pretty sure you're single right now, and also the last time you were in a relationship was a female, but this is saying you're pregnant. It's pretty clear that it's saying you're pregnant. I don't feel comfortable saying that. Is there any fucking way that you would be? And they were like, like, no, but I had a dream last night that I was. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right. Now I know where this is going, because it's like, what the fuck? So sometimes what they're seeing, what you are seeing what they're seeing is true. But instead of being like, no, I'm seeing it, so this is absolutely the truth, you need to go get, like, whatever the fuck, you need to go get checked, or you need to go to the doctor or take a test or whatever, because I'm absolutely seeing it. It's like, find out why you're seeing it, because you are seeing it. Are you seeing it because of your own trauma? Are you seeing it because of something that they need to heal in a past life? Like, where are you seeing it? That's my son, Chris, by the way.
For those of you on the podcast, Magic Koopa came in the chat.
That's what she said. Yeah.
So, okay, that made me go to, I had an old hairdresser years and years ago. They were using the shittiest fucking bleach, and my hair did not get bleached. It got like highlighted and stuff. Like there was the dye, I guess, was not bleached. It had never gotten bleached. And so they were using fucking bleach on my hair, and I was like, this hurts. It feels like things are biting my head. Like this needs to stop. Oh, when this happens, they're pregnant. So you need to get checked. And I was like, cool. I'm telling you right now, there's 100% no way that I am. Well, I've had 3 clients that the same thing happened, and they are awesome. I am not going into detail as to why. There is 100% no way that I am. I am letting you know. And they kept doubling down. Fucking Virgin Mary, I guess, but I wasn't. But like, you know what I mean? It's like, this is the weirdest fucking thing to traumatic double down on. And then the next time I went in to see this person, because I was like, oh yeah, maybe it's my head was getting used to the bleach or whatever the fuck. They were like, did you? Because we're gonna do it again. And I was like, nope. And I stopped going to them. And I had appointments scheduled in the future and everything, and I called and I was like, cancel them all, bye. So just putting it out there too is your trauma can ruin somebody's experience. Heal yourself, heal the world.
Things will come up because a lot of your own personal divination, a lot of your channeling will come from personal experiences, whether it be something you experience like in your life specifically, or it could be a song or a movie or something. You'll get a channeled message. How do you know if it's from you or it's like theirs that you're channeling? We ask. We'll be like, hey, I'm getting something about dance, like a dance recital, and I don't know if it's because I went to dance recital and I can relate to that when I was younger, or if you, like, what, is this yours? Or is this ours? Go ahead.
It forces people to use their own intuition as well. So not only are you asking, they're also growing, healing, whatever, by you asking. They're having to use their own shit. If that makes sense.
There was a session I had not that long ago. I'm not going to go into like detail of what their name is or anything like that, but it was, they were newer to working with me, and they had written down a list of what they wanted to work on in the session, and I was like, don't tell me the list. Let's go see the earliest point we can heal about whatever you wrote down on the list. Well, on their list, they thought it was going to be like 5 to 6 years prior. But we went back probably around a decade or so, and it wasn't where they thought we were going to go. And I was explaining this thing, and I was like, all right, I'm letting you know, like, where we are, we're outside, you're about this age, you have this kind of hair, you're looking out at, and I described the scenery of where we were and stuff, and they're like, well, that was when I was this age and I lived here, but that's not what I, like, wanted to look at. And I'm like, okay, so it matches up. It's not someplace I had been. It is something that you've experienced at this age. And I was like, and I don't know what you wrote on the list, but it was hard. It was hard because in that moment, that's them saying like, no, I don't think that's what this is to the session person. And I was kind of doubling down because I was like, but I wasn't. I was still asking clarity questions. I was just like, but were you that age? Does the scenery make sense at that age? Are these the emotions you were going through at that age? And it's like, because I'm feeling that. And if it's not, then this could be a past life and I'm feeling myself in that life. Like, it's very like, you can still be sure of yourself, but not completely shut them down. It's like explaining it and understanding it, but to the point of like, okay, if it isn't fitting, then why am I getting this?
Okay, so I have an answer for it. It goes along with McKinney's. That what happens if when we black out that time period and don't remember? Okay, so what used to happen to me a lot, and it still kind of does, is I will say something so flat and blunt and at the root of what it is that the person that I'm talking to will like deny until I ask the questions. So a lot of the time, people will be like, yeah, and then this person was like really fucking mean to me. And I'll be like, oh, it's because they were attracted to you. And they're like, oh my fucking God. Like, that's very blunt, flat, and honest. And it's like, they are attracted to you. And they're like, no, because they always talk about how much they hate me. And it's like, okay, whenever I don't like someone, I stay the fuck away from them. How often do they come to talk to you? Oh, like every day. And I'm like, so you're saying that somebody that hates you finds you in a crowd and talks to you? So asking questions, asking the things, having them use their intuition, their own divination, their own self to figure it out as well. Does that make sense? Yes. Okay.
Well, not exactly redirection. It's more like putting the ball in their court. It's like asking them questions to get them to the answers. Like when we were talking earlier, when someone said, like, I want to quit smoking. I'm coming to you because I need to quit smoking. And it's like, why do you need to? And it's like, well, because it stinks. And it's like, says who?
So you think your smoking stinks? That's weird because you keep picking the cigarette up constantly. Why would you keep doing that? Oh, right. So it's not me.
Right. And then it's like, if you want to see why you're smoking, like get answers as to why you actually are doing it and why you actually don't want to stop, we can help you with that. And it's like, okay, let's look at that. And we did. What else?
Oh, and then sometimes people will double down. Like the person that you're talking to. I know that so-and-so is not attracted to me. And then you meet them at the same level and you double down. Why do you know that they're not attracted to you? Because it'll hit like this and then it gets the layers out, if that makes sense.
It can be really uncomfortable to do that process, but it's worth it. Like, it happens with us sometimes too. It'll be like, why did you say this? And it's like, or Kate, like, there's so many times that Kate will be like, did you mean this when you said this? And it sounds not good to me, whatever it is. It'll be like, were you I can't even, it's so much of it has been healed, but it's like, were you saying this because that's, she's seeing it? And I'll be like, no,
Oh, catty, something like that. Like, when you said this, is that being catty? And you're like, no,
No.
blah, 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 blah. Because now, is it how you interpret words or this other person interprets words? I interpret words very flat and what they are, and Webster Dictionary sometimes, or very black and white sometimes.
My channeling's very gray.
So,
Extremely, like, not extreme. Extremely not extreme.
so sometimes knowing the person helps that. Like, the more you know about the person will help.
But the questions can rub the trauma. It can give like a response of like, no. Sometimes Kate will look at, like, say Ben, we use him as an example a lot, and he's trying to heal something, and she'll be like, hey Ben, why do you do that? And she can see him looking, like energetically looking right at it, and he'll be like, I don't think I did that. What he means is he did not mean to do that. Doing that is something that would be gross or ugly or not nice to him. Even though the underline of it is, but you did do that. Why did you do that? And he'll be like, no, I don't think I did. So trauma can seep in that way also. And that can elevate things.
So if that happens and you're seeing the things and somebody's like, nah, I don't think that happened, you can say, okay, fair. This is what you said, and this is what you said here, and then this happened, and then you said this. What did you mean when you said this then? And then break it apart even farther. Like, go more and more with it.
It can be uncomfortable, but it's worth it. It's to get all of it, all the trauma cleaned off of it, which kind of hurts sometimes, you know? Mackenzie asked, do you ever offer sessions on live? We have a schedule, upcoming events. Both of us have it in our bios. And you can see which podcasts we do where we offer that. And sometimes we each go live individually, like randomly. And that can't be put on a schedule because it's whenever we feel like it, we do it. Otherwise, you can, like, you know, book with us or go to a class or something. But yeah, it's on our schedule. There's a lot.
Yeah, we could.
Some people don't understand, like, they don't know that trauma is seeping into their, there's like, I remember healing stuff. One time I was really excited about healing something, and Witch Talk got a hold of it. And they were just like, you know, this is why I don't like people talking about our culture or whatever. And it was with the Morrigan. And there was something that happened that I healed, and I was retelling the healing story that had happened. And when people were upset about it, I was like, well, just do divination on it and see that it's true. But there was no way that they were going to see anything other than what they read and believed. Like, they weren't going to look at the healed aspect of it. And that was hard for me because there were people that would stitch me or duet me, and they're like, I did divination, and look, you're a liar. And it's like, oh, I'm definitely not. You should do divination on whether I'm a liar or not. Because I'm not lying. I actually experienced it, and I did the things. And then I finally started telling people, instead of doing divination, I was like, you can go ask the Akashic Records, because most people couldn't. So I just thought that was funny, because I'd be like, what'd it say? Oh, you can't do that? That's weird.
Why?
Do you remember when we healed the 24th dimension thing back like in 2020 or whatever? Mm-hmm. And this one of the people that we don't talk to anymore, Wanderer, they were like in when I unblocked them, because I had to block them for 3 days because the energy was too much, and I unblocked them, and I was like, go see how many people are in their 24th dimensional form now, like how many or whatever. And she Googled it, and she's like, it says blah blah blah, and I was like, no, go to the 24th dimension and look. And she was just like, no, Google says that. And I was like, okay.
So that's another good point,
right.
too, is what is it coming from? Like, I can't tell you how many times that I'll hear the same regurgitated shit, and I'm like, hey, so what podcast did you watch to get that information?
Or how many people did you hear say it? Did you do this yourself? Did you find this out yourself? Where did it come from?
My favorite thing to call out is when people say men are visual creatures. And I'm like, that's crazy. Because anytime you ask a guy what they remember about a girl, it's always about their actions. That's insane. That's crazy. So it's got to be exactly what it is. So that's another thing is like listening to the action of things instead of what they're saying. I guess the color of what they're saying. If you're a seer, and then the feeling of what they're saying as a feeler. Like, I'm trying to think of examples from you, Kat, but it doesn't feel right. I'd rather you.
Oh, for feelers?
Yes.
I started to read the comments, so I'm
Dang
like...
it.
So you were talking about, like, men being visual learners, and you're like, that's not true, or whatever. And you were saying the colors of things don't look the same.
They'll say men are visual creatures, like referring to women.
Oh, yeah. But the part that you were trying to get me to say, channel, was like, for you, it's different colors. Mm-hmm. Mine is like what my body does. So, like, if someone lies, it's like, my body will do that. Like, it'll you can't hear me on the podcast, only in the video, sorry. I will squint and kind of like move my head. Or some people that are like we say seer or feeler, some people are energetic tasters, and like someone will say something and they'll go, yuck. Like, they'll make a face with their mouth and they'll just be like, that doesn't taste correct. Like, that's not true. That's absolutely not the case. So it's just different things. I was thinking of how, like, you were saying, like, saying a word that you don't normally say, mm-hmm. and knowing that that's from another place, but sometimes that's not trauma. Sometimes that's, it's always channeling.
Mm-hmm. It's always, I guess, from another source.
Yeah, but it's like, how does it make you feel when you said the thing? So, like, if I was to say, what's a Kate word where I know it's you? That it's something that you say that I don't say, which is really difficult because I don't fucking know.
The cachet instead of catch.
I'm like, yeah, but that's never happened, and I wouldn't say that. Okay. It's like,
there it is.
No. So if I said cachet instead of catch or cash or whatever, for the CACHE, like clearing it, that thing, I'd be like, oh, that's weird that I said that. And I'd be like, oh, like I'm channeling you. But the other day, Kate said garbage cans instead of trash cans, and she's like, I fucking hate that word. So she was able to be like, who says it that way? Where is it seeping in? Why is it making me feel this type of way? And she was able to pinpoint the location of it, which is interesting.
Sofa the other day too, and I was like, I say couch.
I used to get really mad when people would say supper instead of dinner.
Oh. I don't like it either.
It's just really funny. Oh, that was another thing, that getting to know, like when I first started spiritual stuff, I really did think so many people were above me. So many people knew more. You don't like garage sales? Oh, garbage sales. They said my dad calls garage sales garbage sales. Supper is such a Boston thing. Gross. I think of it as like a Southern thing. I don't like it. Jennifer, never say it to me. Bye.
Oh my God.
Hate it. Anyway, like if you were like, you want to go get some dinner, that's right. When I first started like spiritual stuff, or I was with a bunch of spiritual people, like in the communities, I really did believe that they thought they knew more than me because they had memorized all this like stuff, basically. And, there would be people nowadays, anybody who messages you like this, you know they're a scammer. But back in the day, people would DM or private message or whatever, and they'd be like, I'm getting a really strong calling that you need to go on this mission, and you need to go to the 7th galaxy of the, whatever, Pleiadians or some shit. And they'd be like, you're going to help with, whatever the fuck, like something. And I'd be like, this doesn't even sound the way I talk at all. Or someone would be like, I dreamt about you, Kat. And I'd be like, oh, what was I doing in the dream? And they're like, you grabbed your sword and you said it's time to battle. And I was like, that absolutely was not me.
Battle.
I don't fucking battle. But now people, because we've done a lot of healings where people can't imposter us. That's a whole nother thing. But now people will text us and be like, yeah, I was doubting myself, but then I heard your voice be like, get up, bitch. Like, you can fucking do it. And I'm like, yep, that was me. Absolutely.
I used to get a lot of messages of your spirit guides are telling me blah, and I'd be like, wow, it's really weird. Why would they talk to you? That's so odd. They came to you and talked to you? That's insane. So that's another way, again, of like, hey, why are your things talking to other people and not to you, as if you can't interpret what they're saying?
I see here that your spirit guides are cheering you on. They're so excited for your growth, Kate.
So, okay, great point, Kat. Spirit guides cannot feel emotions. They're not actually, like, the most that they'll do is pretend, but in order to give you a message. Like, they'll be like, yes.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and that's like a...
Yes, but then you could, if you're a seer, if like you're getting a reading and someone says your spirit guides are so excited for you, as a seer, you could probably, again, not wanting to talk for you, be like, show me what you guys look like when you're excited. Show me excited. Or like, right. Or like, show me what it feels like when you're excited. Cool. Show me what it feels like when you want me to be excited, or when you think that I would like something. Yep, mine's like down my back.
So, stuff like that. The language that other people use, and how you know that they're in their trauma wanting you to do what they're saying.
Validate. Yeah. That was another big thing too. People would say, thank you for validating me. And I was like, you mean confirming? Like, or whatever the other word is that I would say. I don't know.
Yeah, I forget.
It's really weird.
Yeah. So, it was a big side.
Again, the solutions to find out how to get all the trauma out of your stuff, like, it's for free on both of our pages. And like, we are thinking of all the different examples for you to feel or see if trauma is getting in the way there. And it's not to make you afraid of it. Like, you can go to readers, you can go to healers, you can get other people's opinions. We get each other's opinions all the time. And we have to feel and see if what the other person's giving us, if that's correct. And sometimes it'll be like, if we had a very heavy energy day, Kate will be like, hey, can I get clarity on the situation at work? I already know it, but I just want to see what you're getting on it. I'll be like, yeah, sure. And then she'll tell me a situation and I'll be like, yeah, no, I need to clean off. There's too much shit on me. I am not able to give you the right answers for that. And it's like, all right, cool.
Hell yeah.
But that's another thing. We can absolutely tell when our trauma is in the way and when it's not. And we can tell when other people, like, they'll say something, but we know that it's coming from a place of insecurity or needing, self-worth issues, or pathological liar, or they're trying to emotionally manipulate, or they're being passive aggressive. We not only make sure that we can feel and clean off our own trauma, but we can tell when it's seeping into other people because we've honed it very much. And we do know that it gets in everybody's divination. If they're not actively cleaning off, if they're not actively introspecting on themselves, if they're not actively doing whatever, as a human, you're again, you're in people soup and you're a beacon for all this information, and you just assume that it's like your source channeling and your like your pure divine channeling, and it's like, zoom out, clean off, and ask again. Do you have anything else you want to say before we go, Kate?
Just digging in and going piece by piece is always helps. Like whenever you're in the trauma, is this my own trauma? Dig it out. Trace everything back. And it always seems to work. So, yeah.
That's it.
I think some of y'all need to do the closing statements on Kat's page and or the close up / sign off on my page.
Because you got a lot of clarity, which means you did healings, which means closings or close up / sign offs. All right.
Thank y'all. Don't forget to
Thanks.
disconnect.
Bye.
Bye.